Hello and welcome back to the Southern Snack, where life is too short to be serious. Man, Krispy Kreme is just grinding out, and I feel like these employees have to be exhausted at this point. So, before Labor Day, all of August, they did pumpkin spice donuts, which never made sense, but you could tell that they were going to do other donuts, right? So, past few weeks, they did these churro twists, which I was not super impressed with, but they did them. Now we've got more fall donuts, and then after October 9th, I'm sure probably October 10th we'll get the Halloween donuts, if not October 17th. Either way, they are staying busy, and it's just crazy. Now, quantity does not equate to quality, and I've not been super impressed with a lot of these options that they've given us, but I think it's an improvement from where we were, the past couple years, where most of their lineups were just holiday lineups and you weren't getting anything special. So we're here to try some of these donuts and tell you what we think. But it's 5 different donuts. Pumpkin spice has been around since the pumpkin spice cake donut has been around since it's been out. But the rest, they're unique to this lineup. I think Apple Fritter they've had in the past. I'm pretty certain of it. But here we are with it on the menu. So I guess, it's one of those items that they, rarely have these days. With how many donuts they make, that makes sense. It's a harder to make donut. So, Apple Fritter. We got apple spice filled, which is apple cider filled donut with cinnamon on the outside. Maple pecan cheesecake filling, maple icing, pecans on the top, and salted caramel brownie. It's got a salted caramel brownie batter, icing, not much on there. Brownie crumbles, sprinkles, and a caramel drizzle. So with that said, I know I just spent a lot of time talking. Let's get to the review. Sorry, I'm grabbing the box too tightly. And there are your donuts. So I guess what I'll start with is I'll eat a piece of apple fritter, and then we'll roll on here. Hit that subscribe button and give me some love with some likes and comments. That's a really flavorful donut, or pastry, should I say. The mix of doughy apple cinnamon sugary glazed flavor, it's just so good. That's refreshing. That's very refreshing. It's one of the better donuts I've had from Krispy Kreme in a while. No wonder it's been a staple in the past. It's so sweet. It's so chewy, gooey, and refreshing. So, there's not much else I could say. Maybe a little bit more apple on there would work, but I'll give it I'll give it a 9. I think that's fair. All right, to keep on the subject with apple, we've got apple spiced. So you might be able to see the filling there a little bit, but it is a cinnamon donut filled with apple cider filling. So very exciting. Let's try it. Kind of lacking on the filling here. Not as impressed as I thought it would be. I much prefer a legit apple cider donut. This is just not quite hitting those notes. And it doesn't have enough filling. The flavor's okay though. I don't hate it, but it could have been so much better. So much better. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because the filling's not enough. I will say it's better than the churro twist. in the cinnamon department, but I just don't. I think it's kind of weak sauce. So moving on to maple pecan cheesecake, and it's a cheesecake filled donut with maple icing and pecans on top. It's supposed to be like a maple drizzle too. I don't see that anywhere, but you know what? We're gonna eat this donut. That pecan, that's really good. So you get kind of, ooh, it's a little salty too. You get hit kind of hard with that cheesecake flavor at first, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be too much cheesecake filling. But the maple does a pretty good job of holding its own. What do I think there should be more maple? Absolutely. I think, you know, if you mix maple with that cheesecake filling, you've got a really divine donut. But the parts where we've got just the maple icing is just so divine. You know, I don't even think this really needs cheesecake to be a good donut. They just wanted to offer something unique. But for what it is, I'll give it like an 8. I think what would really make this a great donut is keep it maple. Just keep it maple pecan or maple bacon. We would all just love that, right? I think the cheesecake, unnecessary, but it's fine. It's a fine mix. So this is the one I'm most excited and intrigued about, but also very doubtful for, because, you know, I just don't see much on here. It is the salted caramel brownie. So again, it's supposed to have all this caramel and brownie on it, but I don't know. We're gonna have to try it. That is some bold flavor right there. I love that. I really do. It doesn't need any more than it has. It's not as refreshing as the Apple Fritter. I'll be honest, it's not. But it's got a very rich and divine mix of chocolate and caramel and salt that it's just, it's the highlight of the lineup, along with Apple Fritter. And of course, you can't go wrong with pumpkin spice either. The pumpkin spice cake, that is really good too. So honestly, this lineup has been very, very enjoyable. Only thing that, you know, could perfect it is if you take that apple cider donut, if you actually make an apple cider donut with it, and then the maple pecan, if you just left the cheesecake out, I think that would be a perfect donut too. So I don't know, I'm very pleased with this lineup. I'm very happy with, you know, the apple fritter, the salted caramel brownie, and then of course it's nice to have pumpkin spice cake still around. Not too disappointed with maple pecan, but again, could have been better. And quite a bit disappointed with the apple spice. Anyways, that is my review. I'm sticking to it, and I will see y'all around.